Hello everyone, welcome back to my review channel, and today I'm here on New Year's Eve doing one more of the classic movie reviews, movies from like just years ago, black and white mostly, but it's in a collection that I have of like 100, and I'm going to do another one here today. This movie is called The Man Who Knew Too Much. This is a 1934 movie directed by Alfred Hitchcock. This is one of his films. This is, looking it up and reading about it, this is pretty much one of his biggest works, British, works, to date. Is what, let me see, is most renowned, as one of his best British works, that he's done, in, like, the British theme or whatever. This is not a horror film. This is more of a crime, mystery, whodunit, kind of thriller thing you could suggest, and it was again just not a horror film, but this is like the third Hitchcock thing that they put in this classic collections, and the first two were from his TV show series. If you know or ever remember that, that's just let me see. This is probably not gonna be long. I didn't want it to be long. It's just that's how it is. I'll explain later, but let's go on. Directed by Alfred Hitchcock. International Movie Database gave this a 6.9. Rotten Tomatoes gave this an 86%, a very high rating, with 65% of the audience liking it. This stars Peter Lorre, which is probably the main guy you probably know. I mean, everybody else is just like, Leslie Banks, Edna Best, Frank Vosper, Hugh Wakefield, Nova Pilbeam, Pierre Fresnay, Cecily Oates. It just goes on. That's nobody. But Peter Lorre is probably the one guy that, if anyone would know, it would be him. But he does a lot of the old movies, so, from like 30s to 60s. Movie, let me see, this starts off in, Switzerland. You see this guy like going down this ramp on skis, like it's an Olympic event. It's an event, but not an Olympic event. So they're just doing it to do it. It's just kind of a funny scene where one of the main actresses in this film drops her dog. The dog runs out to the middle of the ski slope, and the skier, like tries to dodge it. It's really funny because it's not like they have cameras that could do this back then. They could just, like, be with you. It's just, like, a bad backdrop. This guy just, like, throws his hand over. It's like, but it's, like, bad backdrop. And then it's, like, a film of somebody else, like, rolling and tumbling in the snow. It's like a blooper film you would find in, like, the 50s or 40s. It's really funny. And that's how the damn film starts off. So while this starts off in Switzerland, while vacation in Switzerland, Lawrence and his wife Jill and their daughter, oh my god, what's the daughter's name? Betty. Actually, they're with them, but Lawrence and Jill witness a friend's murder while they're in like a ballroom dancing. He gets shot through a window, and basically the friend tells what's her name, Jill, that he has a note that they need to get to. It's in his room. They tell her to grab the note from his room. This friend turns out to be a spy from a foreign land, maybe to as an assassination plot, but he gets killed before he could actually do anything. So Jill and Lawrence, they decide to help him since they're friends, and Lawrence goes in his room, finds a little note, and leaves with it. So now this gets Lawrence and Jill caught up in this assassination plot. So, these assassination plotters, or now turned into kidnappers, they kidnap the daughter of Jill and Lawrence, and basically hold her for ransom for what was on the note, basically saying what their assassination tip was, or is, on who it's going to be, where it's going to be, and they want the note back, or whatever information's on there, and they'll get their daughter back. So they kidnap their daughter Betty and get them so they can get them to cooperate, but they won't. The husband and wife, Lawrence and Jill, they won't cooperate at first, and they try to find their daughter themselves. They won't go to the police or anything. So they get to. This leads them to London to an occult church. Lawrence goes himself, and he brings his friend Clive with him on clues to find like where they took their daughter, and this leads them to a church, an occult church in London. Now, so he leaves his wife back at their house or whatever, leaves her there. They get to the church. Clive is able, like, things happen. It's just, so some things in this movie, when it gets to be an old movie like this, and there's no, well, it's hard to hear dialogue sometimes. And it was hard for me to hear it. I just keep turning the volume up. And this is why I like closed captioning. This is why I always have closed captioning on with all my movies. But with this collection, none of them have it. So I'm having to constantly turn my TV up or rewind. And with this movie, it just got boring. I was just like, screw it. I really don't care what exactly is said. But because it's just most of it's just garbage. It's just talk. It's just talk. Just to slowly push the plot forward. But anyways, they're at the church. This occult church keeps the two, Clive and the husband there, kind of like, you know, we know who you are, and now we want to kidnap you too. Clive is able to escape with Lawrence's help. Clive calls the wife, Jill, not his wife, but his friend's wife, Jill, tells her to go to Albert Hall, something about that, maybe assassination attempt to go there. So the clues lead to assassination attempt to a foreign dignitary in Albert Hall. This is like a concert ball hall thing, which the wife, Jill, heads to. Now, the kidnappers try to call her and stop her from doing this at first, but they can't get a hold of her because these phones, they're like, you know, old-ass phones. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to it like this, but, you know, the operator, please get me, and, like, there's no call waiting. Okay, so that's just how it is. So now they're freaking out that she's going there, and so they have to try to stop her. But she gets to the concert hall, she looks around, trying to see what's going on, sees this guy in this one booth up there, like with the gun, this one black booth, holds the gun out, he's about to shoot, and she is able to foil this plot by screaming at the top of the lungs, and a fire goes off, or like, you know, he fires a shot, it does hit him, the foreign dignitary, but does not kill him. He's just grazed, a flesh wound, barely. Now, Jill witnesses assassin leaving, and shows the police, saying, hey, that's him, that's him. The police follow the car back to the apartment where the kidnappers are at. They're holding Lawrence and their daughter, Jill, in this apartment. The kidnappers notice the policemen outside, starting to gather, and start firing off rounds while police slowly go from apartment to apartment, trying to get to this one area where they're at. So now you got kidnappers up in like stories, 2, 3, 4, probably like 2 or 3 stories above the ground, firing off shots to the police on the ground, and while the police are going to like other apartments, like just, you know, surrounding this apartment building, flanking the enemy. So now they're getting closer to the gunman. Lawrence is able to escape his one room he's in, and he finds his daughter in another room, and they try to escape through a window, but one of the kidnappers sees this and shoots Lawrence in the back, but he survives. It only like hits his arm, so it goes through his arm or whatever. So he doesn't really hit to kill him. But so the kidnapper goes after the daughter through the window, but he gets shot while up there. this pretty much gives all the cops what they need to, like, just plow down the door and just, what did I write down? They just finally barge into this apartment building, and they find the husband there, shot, wounded, but not killed, with the daughter, who is fine, and, they find the last gunman, who is Peter Lorre. He's the last, like, kidnapper. He's pretty much the lead kidnapper. They find him in the room by himself and shoot him dead instantly. It's, like, very mellow, like, very anticlimactic. Very anticlimactic. It's just they find him in a corner and they shoot him and he drops. And, the movie ends with, Lawrence, the husband, Jill, the wife, and the daughter, Betty, all arm in arm, holding each other, thinking they're all alive. So there we go. Again, this movie was okay. I mean, I'm just not like a big, huge Alfred Hitchcock fan. I know a lot of what he's done. And, you know, it's good stuff. It's just nothing I don't care about mystery thrillers. Not really my forte. But, good stuff. It's a good film. It was a very good directed work, I think, when I was watching this film. A lot of good scenes in this. I like the part where it's just, well, it's not one part. I like the era it shows of UK, Britain era, where everyone is just a classy fellow, no matter what. Even the kidnappers are classy fellows. Even though they're being bad people, they still have time to offer you a cigarette with a smile. You know, he's like, yeah, they're not, he's like, don't worry about it. You know, it's all going to turn out well. Here's a cigarette. You want another cigarette? Yeah, I'll give you want some tea? I'll give you some tea. It's just funny stuff like that. Like, towards the end of the film, when the police are gathering around the building, one of the police officers, one of the head detectives, are asking one of the shop owners around this building if there's a way to get around the back. And the shop owner's like, yes, follow me. And the detective, while doing this, he's just sipping on tea. He's just, gunshots are firing outside. And, you know, very stressful situation. There he is, just drinking his tea, just being calm as hell, being classy. I love that. I thought it was absolutely hilarious to see, like, this era of UK Britain. It's just what you think. You think classy people. As, like, the UK, it's just nothing but class. They're all, like, calm. They just want to drink their tea, have a cigarette. Just be calm, no matter what happens, it's all gonna be good. And I like seeing that. It's really fun to watch that kind of, like, era of things. But, again, it was an okay movie. Nothing too, spectacular about this. It was not even a horror film. Just a classic Alfred Hitchcock, thriller, whodunit, why, you know, mystery, cop thriller. But yeah, that's about it. I don't think there's anything else that could really be said about this. Like I said, it was okay. It's not a horror. It is what it is. But I don't want to keep it long because it doesn't deserve to be talked about too much. But again, that was it. That's it. The Man Who Knew Too Much, 1934, Alfred Hitchcock. One of his best-known British movies. Or, well, most well-renowned British films that he's done. But, yes, that is it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your time. Hope this answered any questions you might have if you ever saw this movie. Or even thought about it, which I don't know why you would. But, yeah, like I said, this is New Year's Eve. And so I guess, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you next year. Oh! Bad joke.